Hey guys,
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast. What are we? Season 5, episode
Episode
7.
7.
I think we're
Yeah.
around halfway now. Halfway-ish.
I think
16.
we're going to
Next
get
week is half.
16. So I think next week is halfway.
Oh, I'm excited. Also, I want to apologize in advance. Please don't give us any bad reviews if you complain about my sound. Listen up. It was
Alicia's
it
having
was
a
a
rough
struggle. I do not
week.
have a computer right now. I'm starting a new job. They did not give me my new credentials, so I'm on my iPad. It's sorry about it, okay? But we will
Bear with
fix.
us.
Also, with that, guess what, Craptastic blog that I now know your identity? I am going to do all the housekeeping by memory. So I hope
Yay!
that I get everything. And if I don't, sorry if I ramble.
I'll
or
help
I forget
you.
something major. Okay, so please rate, subscribe, review. It really, really, really does help.
Yes.
Our
And we want to
podcast.
know your thoughts.
Yeah, Summer House has been actually doing really well, but we want to do even better. So your rates and reviews promote us more. So please, SOS, help. Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. I haven't really been I was gonna post, but then I couldn't figure out a good caption, so I didn't post anything. But I want famous people to like my posts. And then join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get off the top of my memory. For $1 a month, you will get access to all episodes that we record early. So right now, that includes Vanderpump Rules Season 3. So one or two episodes of Season 3 is out right now. But guess what? The whole season is basically out on our Patreon. So go look at that. And we will eventually do that with Summer House and other Vanderpump Rules seasons. What else is happening? Oh, for $1 a month, also you get access to our pre-show, which is where Meredith and I talk about literally everything and anything. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's not that interesting, sometimes it's very interesting. You never know until you pay.
Sports this week.
Oh man. Okay. Then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after show, which is mainly if we go back and do seasons. So like for Vanderpump, we have an after show where we talk spoilers and we talk our thoughts and blah, 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 because we do these spoiler free. Not this episode, though, because there are no spoilers. So we'll talk about whatever we want to. Also, for $2 a month, we say your name on the podcast. So here are our patrons. Mariah, Tracy, Jackie, Dustin, the best of the best. The best. The rest of you,
do better. Do
more. You guys are like the Illini who just lost. I mean, like, you're not the worst, but
my God.
And the 4 patrons that we have are Loyola, who just won, and everyone's celebrating in Chicago. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get the ability to give us your thoughts on any live episodes. So we do have some thoughts after the episode that Jackie has given us. So we will go through those and talk to Jackie about her thoughts. The rest of you, we don't really care about your thoughts. Sorry.
Shots fired.
Ha ha ha. And then we also will name a patron of the episode. So our 2 $5 patrons are Jackie and Dustin. And they're married, so they are our couple of the episode.
Podcast parents.
Now since they're
it's like
only
the Fairly Odd Parents. Oh my God.
Can I be Vicky? Icky
Vicky.
I'll be Icky Vicky.
I'll be Timmy.
But I'll put out a thing every like Friday or Saturday and say like, hey, to our $5 a month patrons, give us your thoughts. But now I just literally go, hey, podcast parents, because they're our only ones. So we have a special bond with them. The rest of you don't count. Or kind of.
Do better. Do more.
I need a burp.
Okay.
Sorry. So
that's it.
Previously.
Yeah.
Did I do it? Am I ready?
Yeah, you crushed it.
Woo! Previously on Summer House, Steven left the house and Lindsay doesn't really care. But then Steven cares because he sent Lindsay a PowerPoint of what he needs to do better to try and win her back. Carl's brother passed away and he's back now from his mom's house, but he is quarantining in his room. But the house is so freaking happy to have him back. Sierra friend-zoned Luke. Danielle is talking to a professional chef named Robert. Hannah, Kyle, and Amanda got into a fight, and it literally continues to happen. But now Amanda's removing herself because she apologized to Hannah, so she's done and over with it. Hooray. So Wednesday morning, Carl is still quarantining in his room while he waits for his results. He's doing a face mask in the meantime.
He can work. He's ready.
Yeah. Which, like, honestly, he has a nice balcony. If the house is nice, they'll eat outside with Carl.
Yeah.
And it could just
I feel
be
like
perfect.
This is the best place to quarantine somewhere as you await your results.
1,000%. Hannah doesn't want to run into Kyle. And Kyle literally has anxiety about talking to Hannah. So these two are a fucking mess.
This is crazy. He also is like, I don't fight with friends, which I kind of feel like everybody has tiffs with their friends. I don't think this is that serious, but they seem like the type that can't apologize or like.
I think what Kyle means is he usually like can work it out with his friends right away. Like anytime we see Kyle fight, he really doesn't go to bed angry. He just like gets it out. Whereas Hannah, I feel like is she'll just fight. Like Hannah in this scenario cannot admit when she's wrong.
Yeah.
She just can't.
I guess Kyle's is like a momentary like anger about a situation and then it dissolves typically for him. But this clearly keeps carrying on and they keep having multiple yelling matches. He
didn't even sleep last night and now he has multiple important meetings and he's just not in the right headset.
The worst.
I get it. Luke's making some jewelry. Kyle and Carl are killing it, it seems, at their meetings for Loverboy. Sierra's ready for the pool though. She doesn't have her job. She's ready to party. She's just laying there.
She used to work 13 hours in the ICU for her shifts, and now this is her time off. I respect that, but I also feel like people probably look down upon her a little bit. But this is her time off.
I think
everybody else needs to work.
My thing would just like I'd be like Danielle working like 5-ever super hard and then look out the window and see Sierra and be like, damn it.
It is hard.
Be me. But
it is sometimes hard to do.
She deserves it. She deserves it. Go you, Sierra. Thanks for helping out in the pandemic. So everyone works and it becomes Wednesday afternoon. Danielle lost her Wi-Fi. The worst. Listen.
The worst.
No one can get mad when you drop off a call. We all get this, but it's the worst.
Yes. And Danielle seems like the type that she has like so much on her plate that 1 minute even lost of Wi-Fi is just disastrous.
But her hot chef, Robert, FaceTimes her. And Danielle's work just announced there are going to be changes that are going to make her even busier. Like she hasn't even eaten yet today, but I'm sure Robert would have made her a sandwich because Robert's a chef. So he probably makes a badass
He was like,
sandwich.
Somebody else has to make sure you eat.
I love that he was like, oh, you're going to have less time to spend with me. And she's just like, I'm sorry.
Like, I know, I'm sorry. And then she talks about in her interview about how when she met him, she didn't even want to sleep with him because she knew there was something like more that could be there. So she wanted to like restrain herself, which she really is turning over a new leaf. She was that party girl and now she wants a boyfriend.
And she doesn't know how to juggle a relationship and her career because she's always been so career driven, but she wants to do it because she wants that relationship with Robert. Yeah. And Robert seems very understanding. And I'm sure he has work too as a professional chef. So I think they both really understand, you know, we respect our jobs enough.
And respect the other person's like drive. Yeah. It's interesting to see this couple or almost couple because slight spoiler, but in real life, like now in today's world, they are dating. But it's interesting to see them together and like working through it in a good way of like, oh, you're not going to have as much time for me. Like that's a bummer, but I understand because your job is so important to you. Whereas Lindsay and Steven can't make that happen.
Stravy. Okay, there's a knock on the door. There is no mask in sight. We panic and Paige puts toilet paper on her face. But they're flowers. They're flowers for Lindsay from Steven. And I love that. So Paige goes into Lindsay's room and she's like, hey, Lindsay, there are flowers for you. And Lindsay's like, oh, and she looks at him and goes, they're from Steven. And Paige goes, yeah, I don't know who else they'd be from.
He is working overtime to win her back.
It's not even worth it. It's like not even worth it.
What has it been? Like a week and a half since he left by now?
No, he left like Saturday. No, he left Monday. This is Wednesday.
But But I think we had last weekend. Remember when Kyle and they did the day club during the day last weekend?
Oh, you're right.
I think it's been a little over a week since he left. Yeah, you're right, because he left. That was a Monday, and we had a weekend last episode. And
remember, we had that whole fucking episode was a Monday.
Yes, but then we had.
Yes, you're right. So it's been a little over a week. Steven's done a lot. The note Steven wrote for Lindsay and the flowers said, "Timing may not be my specialty, but the thought of losing any more time with you is something I can't live with. You deserve to feel special every day." And Lindsay reads it, and she is literally less than thrilled to be receiving this, because somehow this is still not putting effort in.
Well, I think she's conflicted, because she's like, I appreciate it, but this isn't, still don't think it's up to her level.
I don't either, but I think she can't just sit here and be like, he's not putting in the effort anymore, because he has put in the effort. Now it's just a matter of like, is this something you want? Because Steven obviously doesn't want to get engaged after a year.
Yeah.
And I think that's hard for her to understand. But also, girl, it doesn't matter if you're dating a 26-year-old or like, I guess I was going to say a 40-year-old, but I guess Des and Hannah got engaged pretty fucking quick. So I guess.
Yeah, but it's all about like what you both want. Like, look at Kyle and Amanda. Like, it took them a while to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. And even
and Amanda was willing to wait for Kyle to get there in a sense. Like, she was willing to put in the time, but Lindsay is not ready to put in like time and wait around, which that's a conflict.
Yeah. Well, she needs to. It's not easy for her to walk away, she says, because she's invested a year of her life into this, but he didn't cheat on her.
Well, so she says he didn't do anything like terribly wrong, which I'm happy she can see that. Like, I think she's calming down now and is realizing like, maybe we're not compatible. It's not like there's anything terribly wrong with this, but
he's not the worst boyfriend she's ever had. He's just not the one.
Yes. Which I think is kind of harder to walk away from.
I agree. So Kyle's head, we'll go back to Kyle. His head is just not in it today. Amanda's super cute. She offers him hugs, but he decides he's going to go find Hannah.
Yeah, he's tired of holding on to all these issues. Amanda has clearly let go, so he doesn't know like why he can't do that. So let's talk it out.
I see what, in a sense, I want Hannah to apologize first too. I do. I like want her to do it.
Okay, so after seeing basically, because this fight is stemming from the same moment between Kyle and Amanda, because she's basically had a fight with both of them individually. Yeah. Hannah isn't the type to apologize first, which sucks, but there are things you have to either just accept and let your friends still be your friends, or that's a deal breaker. And so like, I feel like this is something you have to accept about Hannah. She's a little stubborn, so she's not going to be the one to apologize first. And that's unfortunate, but that comes with being friends with her.
Frustrates me, but whatever. Before we get into the fight, I just want to, again, as a Midwestern girl, Luke says or tells Lindsay that he likes her outfit in the most Midwestern way. It was like, Hubs, I like your outfit. I don't even know. I can't do accents, but it was a mix of like Midwest. You know how Midwesterners always are like, oh, I'm just going to squeeze right by ya. Like it sounded like that, but it was like, oh, Hubs, I really like your outfit. And I was like,
that's a great outfit.
I was
like the little bounce in the tone.
Yeah, I really like your outfit. Sorry. Okay. So Kyle goes into Hannah's room. Paige is there too, but Kyle has to chat with Hannah. They go outside.
Well, as Hannah's walking outside, she's like, hey, Paige, if you hear loud noises, come get me. Like, help me.
Help. So Amanda's really anxious. So she's going to watch. And Paige is also going to watch. And Sierra's also going to watch. And eventually Danielle will join and watch. Everyone's watching. Everyone can hear it.
Yeah, they like at first start with just their ears on the window, but then clearly realize like that's not going to cut it. So they lay on the balcony. Yeah.
That's the best. Okay. And at one point, can we just get this all out of the way? At one point, they're laying there and Paige goes,
my favorite part of this.
I put this outfit together myself.
She's like, it's not a set. I put it together myself. Like, it
and
didn't
Sarah,
come
like,
together.
Sarah looks at her like just nods. And it's like, okay.
I freaking love Paige. I love her. It was hilarious.
It was awesome. Okay, so also I just want to mention Hannah's in a full sweatsuit.
A full pink one. A full pink one.
This bitch is so hot. That's why she's so angry. She's so fucking hot in that sweatsuit. She's sweating her ass off.
I mean, they were sitting in the shade. They agreed to sit in the shade.
My goodness gracious. Okay, so Kyle starts out by saying his feelings are hurt. Whenever he gave her criticism, she deflects and brings up his relationship and his past actions. Part of me right here was like, well, Kyle, your past actions were very public. Like, I get wanting to move on. Also, it's that thing where if like Amanda's moved on, we all should move on. But also, you know, I always go back to like, remember when Kyle cheated?
I know.
It's not a joke, but I do it.
See, what Hannah said wasn't 100% about his past actions, though.
It wasn't. But
it's kind of like, it's just the way he treats her. And so if you don't like that, then that's...
Change the way you treat her. Yeah.
Yeah, I find this like a little gray area because I understand like why Hannah said it. Like, you can't talk to me the way you talk to her.
Yeah.
Where then it gets interpreted as like their relationship, but it's not like she's bringing up cheating. She's just like, I'm not accepting this behavior.
The way Kyle speaks.
So it's a gray area for me. I don't like that he keeps saying it's about their relationship because he's interpreting it then as a dig at their relationship. Because it's not like she's like, well, you keep cheating on her.
Yeah, no. But Kyle says him and Amanda are good and Hannah should just accept that. And Hannah responds and says she's not saying anything about the relationship. It's just the way Kyle speaks to women.
Yes.
Which, yes, there it is. And I think that's where Kyle needs to be like, okay.
And so, I don't think he realized it. I don't think so
either. I really think that's just like, and this is going to sound bad and I'm not trying to defend Kyle, but I think he just speaks like that to everyone. And
I kind of agree because he does say then like, it's not about women. If somebody says something to me, I'm not going to stand for it.
He's yelled at Lindsay. He's yelled at Everett. He's yelled at the twins. He's yelled at Steven. He's yelled at all these people. He's just like that. And it's not great. So yeah, Kyle
it's not
should
okay.
Learn. It's not okay.
It's just, it isn't about Hannah or being a woman.
Yeah. It's not specifically about women.
I think women probably just, and it's not their fault, but he gets away with it more with the women because the men probably talk back to him.
Yeah.
But then Hannah 100%. Defending herself was not
part of Kyle's plan because it's never happened before. Yeah.
It's like
so Kyle
field mine.
Kyle's still stuck on the relationship, so we asked Hannah if she believes in the relationship, and Hannah says that she wants Amanda and Kyle to be happy and she's rooting for them, and it's all in Kyle's head and no one he's the one that has an issue with her. Like,
yeah, I think it a little bit is in Kyle's head. I think he takes everything as a dig.
Yes. And so Kyle says he didn't think that. He thought they were friends. And this is where I think Hannah went really wrong because he's like, Hannah, I thought we were friends. And Hannah goes, we're not friends. And I was like, it was very aggressive in the way she kind of said it.
This is where she's stubborn and she's trying to like put the hurt on him. Like she's trying to hurt him because she's hurt. So she's trying to hurt him. And I kind of do this a lot too. I feel like, and you shouldn't do it, but it's just something where you're like, well, we're not friends. Why would you think we're friends?
I think if he was like, friends shouldn't talk to each other that way, then Hannah would be like, well, we're not friends. But in the way he said first, he was like, we're friends. He like put the olive branch on and she was like, cut that shit off. We're actually not friends. And it did hurt Kyle. Like Kyle was sad.
He said like, I'm getting really upset. Like this upsets me. And Hannah says like, well, I wouldn't have said that if you didn't uninvite me from your wedding. And I'm like, we're getting tit for tat here. And I hate arguments like this.
Okay. So Hannah says she came in as a friend, but he has a lot of animosity towards her. And that's why she can't be friends with him. She feels when they hang out, it becomes an anger fest. And then he yells and she has to defend herself. And Kyle's like, I'm not trying to personally attack you. And Hannah's like, Hannah's like, I don't know that. Like, it feels like an attack.
Yeah.
So then Kyle says that he didn't say anything mean. And this is where Hannah's like, you uninvited me to your wedding, which is a good point. But I think it was like moment of like the heat of the moment. Like,
yes, it's kind of like Hannah saying, we're not friends.
We're not friends.
Like you're saying it, but you don't mean it.
Yeah. And then this is where Kyle's like, of course you're not invited to my wedding because you just said we weren't friends.
And Hannah's like, no, okay. You did the uninviting first. And then I said we weren't friends. I was like, oh my God.
Because this is where it goes like really bad, I think. And I think, okay, I have opinions on this, and we'll just talk about it first.
Me too.
Okay. So Hannah then compares Kyle to her dad in the sense that Kyle is telling her everything she's doing wrong and not taking his own responsibility in the situation. Yes. And Kyle says, I feel like that's kind of a scapegoat that you just compared me to your dad. And then Hannah kind of is like, it's not me being a scapegoat. Actually, don't talk about my dad. Don't talk about my fucking family. And literally loses it.
Yes.
And like starts yelling at her. And Kyle
is so confused.
Kyle does not know what to do. Hannah is absolutely distraught. She's screaming in the backyard. Everyone can hear. Kyle literally was like, you brought up your dad. And she's like, no, fuck you for bringing my family into this. And I have thoughts.
Okay, so really quick, though, I feel like we need to separate or go into when they separate and like what happens there, because then they kind of go into it. So Kyle goes upstairs. And Amanda like hugs him and is like, I'm always on your side. Just know that you have me at the end of the day. Kyle thinks it was a waste of time, but he also says like, she's the one who brought up her dad.
Her dad, yeah.
And then meanwhile, Hannah is in her bedroom. Sierra goes there. Paige eventually comes. And Hannah says like, all she wanted was to have fun this summer. And this is my favorite line. But why does she have to be attacked by a little blonde leprechaun? And Sierra like really dies.
She tries not to take the attention off Hannah, but she
does the like silent laugh, or it's like Hannah, because Hannah's looking up at the like ceiling and she's just like sitting there like laughing silently.
It was awesome. Yeah, okay. Should we talk about our thoughts, or should we go into when Paige comes into the thing?
I think this is a great time to talk about it.
Okay. So, do I think Kyle talks rudely to everyone? Yes. Do I think Hannah's incredibly stubborn? Yes. Do I think Kyle brought up Hannah's dad and attacked him? No. I think Hannah has a lot of PTSD from her tennis days.
It's a big trigger.
Do. Yes, and I think she just hasn't been able to deal with it. And I think being in this house, Luke originally yelled at her, and now her and Kyle are arguing. And Kyle wasn't even really yelling at her in this situation.
No,
because he didn't bring up her dad. But
they did not really raise their voices. I think
I think Hannah just has a lot of PTSD, and I really, really think she needs to deal with it properly, like go to therapy. But I think in this situation, she just feels so backed in a corner that any kind of scapegoat, anything she can do to kind of let out that emotion, she's going to take advantage of, because she doesn't know how to properly deal with her trauma from her dad. And I don't think her and her dad, I think we got that one moment where her dad recognized like, hey, I shouldn't have spoken to you the way I did, and there were some issues there. But I don't think her dad and her have actually like moved full on dealt with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I think they've just been like, okay, it was a bad
You're
situation.
My dad now. Like you're my dad, but it's hard to like
trust you as a man. Yeah.
The fact that like he was your coach and like yelled at you a lot. Yeah. I think Hannah definitely needs to like work through this, because it's clearly like affecting her friendship relationship with males, and specifically ones who may get heated with her and have an argument with her, which arguments are difficult. A lot of times they obviously shouldn't happen, but they're not going to go away. They're not going to not happen. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I think she used the like dad card to get out of the argument, but I don't even think she realized it. She just like needed to leave the environment and didn't know, like it just happened.
Yeah. And I think especially with Kyle, I think he's a very like dad-like figure. Like he is a lot older than Hannah. He thinks he's kind of the man or whatever. And we can discuss that, but whatever. But I think it's more of a dad-like figure. So Kyle sitting down and being like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. And then Hannah being like, Hannah didn't really very well express what he was doing wrong. I think she was just like defending herself instead of being like, well, Kyle, this is what you've done. Besides like you talk badly to women.
I think Kyle talks down to people, but I don't think he does a great job talking down to men as much, because men don't typically talk down to each other. But I think Hannah just doesn't deal with that well. I wouldn't. I would be in Hannah's position easily. I would be yelling at him for like talking to me like this.
I would have done that previously already. Like I think in this exact situation, I wouldn't have lost my cool. But I don't have the same trauma Hannah does. I think
Kyle handled it very well.
Yes, and I don't think he said like, because eventually Paige is like, how did the dad get brought up? And Hannah's like, well, I brought it up. I was like, oh.
I know, because when Hannah walked out of the fight, she was like, don't bring up my dad. And then, so in Hannah's bedroom, Sierra's there, and then Paige walks in, and Hannah says, like, I feel like this fight is ruining the house. Paige says she'll always be there for her, which I think she, like, just needed someone to be on her side, so that was clarified. But Paige asks, like, what happened, and Hannah, like, says, well, like, I brought him up, but, like, I went through a lot with the tennis thing, and, like, it's a hard time, like, for guys to yell at me, and she realizes she doesn't have to take it. So I think Hannah kind of, it clicked for her that it's like, oh, I'm the one who brought it up. That's not what he was saying. Like, she's really thinking through how the actions went.
Yeah.
Her trying to get out of the situation and not taking Kyle's shit turned into yelling at Kyle for something he wasn't even a part of or didn't really do.
Yes. I think it was just Kyle being like, why am I like your dad? And then Hannah heard dad and was like, it has to be her trauma. It just like clicked for her. Like you said, I don't even think she realized it.
I think when she probably said the dad comment, that's when she realized, I need to get out of this moment.
Because it was going south already. Like when she said it, she knew it was going badly.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Kyle, I think if he had said something along the lines of like, I'm sorry about what happened with your dad, it would have gone differently. But because he's like, I feel like a scapegoat then.
I don't think it would have. I think it was already she poured gasoline onto her own fire, and like she was going to blow up no matter what. Maybe not about that specific thing, but she was going to blow up and walk away screaming at him.
It was unfortunate. And I think Paige does a really good job of like recognizing that, okay, this exact situation, Kyle didn't have anything to do with it, but like it also wasn't Hannah's fault. So I think she says, friends fight, but it's about knowing that the other person loves you and you can get past this. And Hannah at the time doesn't want to reconcile, but she knows it's ruining the vibe of the house. Like, Danielle even says, she's like, why can't we all just like get along? Like, Luca is obviously stressed because he has trauma from his parents fighting all the time. Amanda's obviously stressed. Paige is stressed because they're in the middle of it. Sierra's trying to have a fucking relaxing ass summer. Lindsay doesn't care. She loves a good fight, but that's probably the only person that's not that stressed about this.
Well, Paige walks upstairs, and it's so cute. Kyle like asks her for a hug, which I
know.
I actually thought that was like such. You can kind of tell like Kyle is struggling. Like he's in his emotions. He's coming from like talking about his emotions in this. So I think he really came to this like discussion in a great way. It obviously didn't end how he wanted. But they're like, all right, dinner time. Like, let's figure out what we're doing. What does Hannah want? Oh, here's Hannah. Hannah walks upstairs.
Yeah, Paige is very good at being like, Hannah, hey, without making it awkward.
Come sit down. Yeah, like, we're talking about dinner, not the fight you guys just had.
So they end up FaceTiming Carl because there needs to be a house meeting that Hannah has called. Hannah says that she has reflected and she finds herself fighting with people, and there are sides of herself that she doesn't like that she's now seeing. And she's had her ups and downs, and she's sorry for any negativity she caused. She doesn't want to cause Kyle any pain because she cares about the friendship and she respects Kyle, and he's the man. And this is where I was literally typing and I had to stop and like stare, and everyone else too was also like, come on, really? Yeah, but Kyle eats this shit up. His ass is crying. Whereas you have Paige in an interview that's like, seriously. And then like Danielle in an interview.
That was too far. Yeah.
Like, even Sierra's like, I've been here 5 minutes and I know he's not the man. Thanks though.
But did you hear Kyle like after
he's
Hannah
crying.
gives his speech? No, he like whispers into Amanda's ear and he goes, I really needed that.
Yeah. And Amanda's probably even like, great. That was fucking cheese as shit, but okay.
Yeah. But they hug, they like get up, they hug. I feel like we're in a good spot. He
accepts the apology as he's sobbing, and he says he's guilty of saying mean things in the moment, and he's also sorry.
I think this is perfect. This is exactly what needed to happen.
No one's ever been like, you talk to women specifically in a horrible way. Like they've said like you talk to Amanda badly, or like you're not going to talk to me that way. But Hannah, I think, is the first one to call him out. Like, you talk to everyone, specifically women, this way. So I think now he's like, I need to stop saying mean ass things. Yeah. But food's here. Okay, let's move past. Everything's better with food.
Yay. We bring Carl food, and then we're all gonna clean up the house after we eat. Wow,
my
we're
God.
progress.
Lindsay's having trouble sleeping because of the Steven situation. Luke texts Sierra asking if she wants to watch a movie, and out loud she goes, "Fuck no."
But later we found out she did not even respond to the text.
No, she didn't. Hannah, though, goes out her balcony. She looks fucking nice. She like got makeup on, did her hair, cute shirt. She's FaceTiming Des. She can't wait to straddle him in a hot tub. And Des is the perfect person for Hannah. Yay.
Yep. They're so compatible. We also get Lindsay and Danielle like talking on the phone, I think to Robert.
Yeah, the hot chef. I keep typing in hot chef. Like, I don't even know his name. It's just hot chef.
Paige is also on the phone with Perry. It seems like Paige is in her... Okay, so I guess Hannah and Paige sleep in the same bed typically. And then Paige has, I think, her own room for her clothes.
Yeah.
And she was in her clothing bedroom. And Hannah's in their shared bedroom.
No, Hannah's outside.
No, she was underneath the blanket at the end.
No, that's different. That's a different time. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was different. It doesn't matter. But I mainly forget that Perry exists.
Me too. They do not address him like ever.
Yeah, I'm confused. When she was like FaceTiming Perry, I was like, who? The fuck?
Well, it's funny to see like the difference in a relationship once you're like a year in and then Hannah's like at the very beginning, the honeymoon phase. Like that's how Paige was last season, like with Perry. That's true.
She was always calling Perry. Remember she was drunk crying over Perry? Yeah.
Yeah. Like that was a whole storyline. And now like even if Paige and Perry are FaceTiming every day, it's clearly not an interesting story. So they're not showing it to us.
No one gives a fuck.
No.
Okay, Thursday morning, Paige brings Carl his food. Hannah's unloading the dishwasher, and Sierra says that she appreciates Hannah doing housework.
She, like,
I think
praises
now it's
her.
a joke.
I know.
Yeah. And she tells Hannah that Luke texted her last night, because now that's also a joke amongst gals.
Oh, I love like the bond of Sierra and Hannah now. It's great. They like laugh.
It's amazing. Amanda and Paige are planning on having their kids' date while they're floating around in the pool. Kyle and Carl are doing lover boy stuff. Carl's having a really hard time finding motivation, just like in general because of his brother's death, but work is a healthy distraction. And then Carl gets the notice. His results are in.
Woo! His
COVID test is negative. He's back.
Don't need to quarantine anymore.
Everyone's so happy. I was happy. I know. This was like the best.
He does like a group hug with Amanda, Danielle, and then Sierra gets in, and like everybody starts coming out. I love like the happiness moments like these when everybody like rallies around.
I know. I love when it's around Carl.
Our shining star.
Okay, Luke is showing Hannah his
mad hockey skills.
Oh, pirouette. I was like, what did I spell? Pirouette. Yeah, he dances, and then they start kind of playing hockey. We talk about Hannah's podcast, and Luke asks if Des has been on it, because that would be super funny because they're both comedians, and he's so funny and smart.
Yeah.
And Luke is like, hey, man, or hey, Hannah, hey, burn dog.
Hey, burn dog.
Listen up, burn dog. And he just tells Hannah, it is moving kind of fast. Maybe you want to pump the brakes a little. And then Hannah's like, wow, you sound super jealous. I get where Luke's kind of coming from, where he's like, she was just flirting with me 5 minutes ago, and now she's already all about his comedian. But he doesn't know the background.
But he can't also be the one to say this. If Sierra said this, or, I mean, not Kyle, because they just had that fight, but like anybody else who like didn't have an intimate relationship with her could say this. Because of their relationship, Luke can't say this because it comes off jealous. Even if it's valid, like he is right. Like she was just flirting with him 5 seconds ago. And now because he was trying to pursue Sierra, she's now onto someone new. Like it is true, but also
it looks weird, but also after listening to the podcast with Hannah and Des, she had hung out with Des before, and she was very open. Like, I'm going to live in a house with my ex. Okay, goodbye. I'm going to figure out
I don't know what that's going to be like. So I don't want to, she was kind of saving him. And because she like got that figured out, it's like, okay, cool. I can move on with Des.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that. Yeah.
I want to move on with you. Yeah. Okay. It's Thursday afternoon. Lindsay talks to Carrie, the therapist, about Steven. And, it's just a bad cycle. These are critical years for Lindsay. She can't be wasting on some loser like Steven.
Yeah, she says she doesn't want to play mind games, but it's hard to break up with someone knowing you've put a year in and you're 34 and like what that, again, this goddamn timeline thing it looks like.
I know. She's stressed. She doesn't know what to do. We'll see.
But the therapist does say, like, the resentment that's building up, this isn't healthy. This isn't like a good thing.
The suspense is killing me so much. I just yawned. That's how much I care about this storyline now.
I don't like how much this is dragging out. Like, he keeps sending shit like every day, and she's like, I don't know what to do.
She's doing that thing where she's like, I'm gonna wait till he sends me a car. Let's see how nice he can get me shit. Like she's basically like, maybe if you send me more shit,
yay, yeah.
I don't care if it's not Sandwichgate. I don't want it. I don't. I love Sandwichgate.
This isn't interesting to watch because he's not even here anymore.
He's not even here.
It honestly would be so interesting if he was in the house and was, in a sense, sending her all these things and doing communication through presents while he has to stay in another bedroom.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine if he had left, came back though, had a quarantine like Carl, wait for negative test results, and he's sending like these flowers and all these things like from a room in the house? That would actually be hilarious.
That'd be funny. I want the funny relationship shit. Like, I don't need this. Won't I pick him? I don't care. I need it to be hilarious.
I need Kyle and Amanda yelling about so much sand in the bed because Kyle's too drunk to.
Yeah, I need Sandwichgate, all of it. And then so Luke invites Carl to the beach, which at first I was like, is it just Luke and Carl going to the beach? No, it's everyone. But
yes, I think he was telling Carl because Carl probably wasn't around when they made this plan.
Yeah. And then Kyle tells Amanda that he just re-signed the apartment lease that they have. And Amanda's like, that's great, but we could also be paying for a mortgage.
Kyle's like, not yet. Let's build up that business a little more, and then we can focus on a house.
Technically, they are both working for the same startup. So if it goes under, they are both kind of fucked a little bit.
I mean, there's no way their apartments like that much cheaper.
Hella nice.
Yes, but so like she's saying like their rent could literally be a mortgage payment.
It could. It straight up could. But I mean, I think that's more of like a commitment issue that Kyle has, where he's like, at least if we break up, it's a
big work to like find a house too. So maybe it's like we don't have the time for this. We're planning a wedding. We're doing this show. We have a startup,
nice apartment. We'll just keep it. Yeah,
it's just easier to re-up our lease.
I get it. I love a good lease. I never want to own property. Okay. They all go to the beach. Except Danielle, she will meet them there later. She has a little work to do. I respect it. Mm-hmm. So it's Thursday night. Kyle's working
from the car.
Oh my God, wait. So they're driving there really quick. So Sierra's driving, right? And she waves out the window to someone, and Paige is like, that's so nice. And she goes, in the South, we wave to everyone, which I cannot stress how fucking true this is. So my roommate is from Central Illinois. And when she moved to Chicago, like we were literally living together, and she would come back to the apartment and be like, everyone I say hi to on the streets doesn't say hi back. And I'm like, why are you saying hello to people? And she's like, because that's what you do in Peoria. And I was like, no. I
mean, I wave to like my neighbors, and like if I'm driving, I'll wave to my neighbors as I'm leaving my house.
It's like when you make eye contact with someone on the streets of like a city like Chicago, you don't like, hey. No, Sarah, my roommate straight up was like, hi. And like, everyone was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
I only do that. I feel like if I was like on vacation or something, walking and like going on a walk in a neighborhood, and it's like, you see someone, you're like, hey, just like where nobody's walking though. You say hi when no one's around. No.
This is my room. So this is very true. Sierra.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah. So we're at the beach. It's time for drinks. Kyle's going to hotspot with Lindsay's mobile hotspot or whatever he's working. Kyle's playing frisbee with Lindsay. Not Carl. We're gonna play some Coop. Remember that stick game?
You were right. It was a stick. It's not a dildo that they're throwing.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure
it was. It really looked like it because Kyle's talking about dildos.
I think they made a dildo joke about it. It's okay.
I think that but the way it bounced, it looked rubber. When it hit Kyle in the nuts. That's what really made me convinced.
Okay, so it is wood. We're playing Coop. We didn't bring all of our dildos to the beach to get all sandy. And then Lindsay calls Steven. And man, is it awkward.
Oh.
This is the drama I want, but I want it more awkward.
I agree. When she goes, we haven't talked in a while, and he's like, well, you asked for space. So I gave you space.
And she goes, yeah. And I was like, no.
I'm like, Lindsay, this is your own fault. You ask for things and then you like don't want them.
Also, super quick, whoever edited this episode's hilarious because it's just awkward conversation with Steven and Lindsay. And then we go back to Coop really quick. And then we go back to the awkward conversation.
And there's just like a lot of silence on the phone. This was the most uncomfortable call.
Oh, yeah. Well, Lindsay says she keeps going back and forth and she needs to get to a point where she's at a point where they need to go their separate ways. And Steven's upset because he was making an effort. And Lindsay doesn't see any change in the near future. And this is when
it's basically like, you asked me, Steven's like, you asked me to put in effort. I'm putting an effort. And Lindsay's like, yes, I see your effort. However, I don't think things are changing in 1 year. So bye.
Yeah. And Steven's like, I'm just disappointed, but we had good times and I wish you nothing but the best. And Lindsay's like, yeah, same. And then Lindsay was ready to fight. And I think it made it even worse for her that he didn't really fight for her. But what's he going to do? Like, no, Lindsay, don't break up with me again.
I think Lindsay wanted it to be like, he was like, no, we should be together. And she's like, and it's all her decision. I kind of don't think she wanted a mutual breakup.
No, yeah, but she got one. Because think of all her other breakups. Man, were those nuts.
She seems like the type who wants some drama, which I kind of am the same way. I can't just have like a good, normal relationship. You need like a little bit of.
It's my nightmare. I love a good. But I think Steven knew that this would piss her off, which is even better. Like, Steven knows.
Well, I also think he's probably like, I know she's on camera. Like, I'm not going to be. I think he's smarter to be like, I'm not going to get into a fight with you.
So Lindsay, she spent the past year giving herself emotionally to someone who did not emotionally show up to the relationship.
These are the comments I hate having from her. Because she's basically saying she's giving 100% and he's giving 0. Like, and that's not accurate.
I'm happy they're not dating. But like, Lindsay, you fucking calm down, bitch. Calm the fuck down.
She's basically putting 100% blame on him.
Yeah.
It takes 2 to tango in this relationship. It's clearly not going somewhere because it's just not the right thing.
Lindsay, stop giving yourself a freaking timeline.
And she wonders why it hasn't worked out.
Can I bring up an idea? Does this bitch still love Everett? Is she still in love with Everett?
I bet she is.
Like, she's just waiting for Everett, but with more passion for her.
Yeah, I bet she is.
Like, part of me, every season she brings up Everett, except this season so far. Because
we haven't gotten an Everett moment.
Everett usually shows up once a season.
And she freaks out.
Yeah, except last season instead, Everett showed up with his girlfriend. So Lindsay had Steven and they fucked in the bathroom while Everett was in the backyard potterying.
But that's what's dumb is it's like, it's a jab at him.
Yeah.
She does it because of him. Like, even though it wasn't an interaction with him specifically, like, she did something because he got to her.
Yeah. To me, Lindsay will never fully be over Everett. And that's my opinion, but that's my opinion.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, Danielle makes it. She says the most real thing. The mask is like a bra coming off at the end of the night.
I love
that is so real.
I love that she says that to Carl and he's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he's like, sounds fun. So they're all sitting by the fire. Lindsay tells everyone that she ended things with Steven and she's fucking fine. And even Sierra's like, that was a really short phone combo.
Yeah,
and Lindsay
she's like,
is not upset.
She's not bothered at all. This, like, what is going on?
So funny. Hannah and Danielle talk about Robert. Danielle doesn't know if she's ready to be a girlfriend because the last time she was a girlfriend was a decade ago.
Which was I with Carl?
I fucking feel this. I think so. I fucking feel that bitch.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I'm not a girlfriend.
But she says her energy has switched. Like she kind of like wants it now and things are different and she's just really happy.
I never thought I would say I am Danielle. I love this bitch. She's the best.
Do you think you're Danielle pre-flipping the switch? No.
I don't know. I have to rewatch now and really do some internal soul searching. But I am definitely Danielle this season. This is me. Hello.
It seems like I bet you'll have this moment where if like you meet the right person, it seems like Danielle finally met someone who made her want to be a girlfriend again.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see. I love you, Danielle. I'll be your girlfriend. Okay.
I'm liking this storyline. I want more Danielle and Robert.
I want Robert. Can he come cook a dinner for Summer House?
Now that we have a stove, maybe he'll come.
You know what? It would have been funny if they had to hire a chef when the stove wasn't working because the cast didn't know how to eat. And it was Robert. I would have loved it. Okay.
Me too.
Lindsay and Luke are talking. Ooh, Luke says he cares about Lindsay and he's here for her because obviously she just went through a breakup, so she needs her friends. And meanwhile, we have Hannah, Sierra, Paige, and Amanda, and they're chilling by the beach. And immediately they're watching this, and Paige is like, this is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. They're gonna.
Luke is like sweeping or like gonna like get right in there, slide right into this situation now that Steven is fully out of the picture, and they think something's gonna happen before the end of summer.
And I'm just going to say, I'm pretty sure we saw this on like this season coming up on Summer House. Someone fucked someone.
Okay. I remember when we talked about the promo you don't know how editing can work. Like they may have edited that together, but they made it seem in the promo that
like Lindsay
and Luke do something in the bathroom with some moanings.
Yeah. But now I have to, of course, they're going to make us watch the season to find out. So now I got to do this. But I think they did, or they do. I don't know if they did. I think they do.
Okay.
So now we're back from the beach. Pizzas are here. Danielle doesn't eat pizza. And then she goes to call Robert. And she's like, hey, Robert, guess what? And he's like, what? And she goes, it has to do with Lindsay and Steven. And he's like, oh no, they got back together. Like Robert hates this couple as much as Danielle does.
I know. And she's like, no, they broke up. And he's like, oh, I thought they were already broken up.
I thought they broke up.
I thought that was where we were at right now.
I love Robert. His vibe is odd.
He's like, I don't care about this. We all knew this was dead. This isn't a surprise.
And then Robert goes, I thought you were going to say she's pregnant. And I was like, oh.
Which I was like, oh, because we got that on Still to Come this season. Lindsay thinks she might be pregnant.
Which Stravy.
Stravy baby.
Luke is chilling on the steps with Lindsay. It's his favorite place to hang out. He loves to just have deep conversations on these steps.
He is such a different person and type of dude.
Human.
He's like, I just love sitting on the steps, having great conversation.
If only I could build a fire right on these steps.
Which, like, okay, I actually think the steps are probably a great place to sit and chit chat with someone because that house is so open, you can hear everything. Yeah. But who's like, really love just sitting here and talking?
Sitting on these steps, just shooting the shit, you know?
Like, I get that's why that's your favorite place to take someone if you need to have like a one-on-one combo, but like, who reminisces about these steps?
Paige and Hannah are so skeptical about this. They know something's happening. Everyone starts going to bed. Lindsay's up and Luke is playing his guitar. This is when I thought the fucking was going to go because everyone's in bed except Lindsay's like wide awake. It was going to
be like a little secret thing.
Yeah, Luke's playing his guitar and I was like, oh my God. But then
she's going to knock on his door. Yeah.
No. So now it's Friday morning. Hannah woke up just wanting to laugh with him. What did I write? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. Hannah woke up.
I think she was talking with Des again.
Oh. Hannah didn't die. She's up. She wants to laugh with someone. I do not know who. My notes are not that accurate. Goodbye. Anyway, Carl looks sick.
Oh, I don't know.
Carl looks sick. Let's move on. His ass is working it. Oh my goodness gracious, Carl. Who are you?
Everybody is like, because it's Friday morning. Yeah, right? So everyone's like working out. Paige and Hannah went for like a little run. Paige got a cramp in 5 seconds.
Yeah, oh, hilarious.
Love her.
Luke really misses his friendship with Hannah, but Hannah's like really not having it anymore.
Yeah, which I kind of feel for this is he's like, I don't understand why we can't just be friends. Like, like they're friendly, but they're not like friends.
They're not tennis playing friends like they were before.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Which this is why it's difficult to cross the line. You can't just go back.
Sorry. I agree. That's how boring the storyline is.
I think it's crazy Luke like wants so much though to like read the room.
He can't. He's too Midwestern. He can't read the room. He's blinded by his fire and his hockey.
Okay.
Everyone's working in their bathing suits, which I love, inclooking Amanda, who's posting a picture.
She looks fire again in this goddamn bathing suit.
Those boobs. I'm like, I need to get mine done too. Look, I'm literally going to go to a plastic surgeon and be like, see this body? This is what I want.
This is what I want.
This is Amanda in a bathing suit and I want it.
Give me the Amanda.
She's putting up pictures of dogs with Lover Boy. I love
like
her.
National Pet Day or
Dog
something.
Day. National Dog Day or something. And Amanda's excited for them to get dogs and children. And Kyle's like, I know.
What's she's like, I'm so excited to have a life with you. And he's like, when's that happening? And she's like, what's now?
ETA? What's the ETA on that family shit? And she's literally like, I'm ready to go off birth control right now. And he's like, if you know why I'm pulling out, that's why.
Yeah. This conversation's like funny. It's not like too serious.
It's funny. But this is how Amanda brings up real issues. She's like, so I'm going to stop taking birth control. And Kyle's like, so we're not having sex.
She's like, so you're going to have to deal with it. And he's like, okay.
Blowjobs only?
I can't believe she would do this when like, I don't understand why people do this when they're going to get like married shortly. Like they're clearly going to get married in June.
Yes.
So I don't understand if she was like, okay, I'm going to stop taking it as soon as we get married. And he's like, ooh, not ready for that. But I still have like another year before.
She wants all her domestic things now. She's all in one.
I'm like, what do you want to be 9 months pregnant at your wedding?
She wants the wedding. She wants the baby. She wants the house. She wants it all now. Like all in the next year. She doesn't have a timeline. She's just like, when I decide.
No, but
and Kyle's
like, give me
a Tom Schwartz. He's like,
give me 2 more summers.
Yes, which was good. He's like, here's my exact timeline. I need 2 summers. But he just wants to be financially responsible.
Yeah, because he says like there yet. He wants to put a little more time into Lover Boy because he finally has been able to like give himself a salary, like make money off of Lover Boy, but he wants it to be in a better spot, which I understand this. Like being so focused on like this business you're starting and making sure it's a stable place before you actually bring children into the world. However, Amanda says like, look how much it's already grown in 1 year, like 2 years, like that is a long time. Mm-hmm. And like I think this also is kind of like you said, the Tom Schwartz, Katie Maloney thing in Vanderpump Rules of like, what is financially stable? Like that's not just like a benchmark you can really put down.
I think it's good that Kyle's like, give me 2 summers. I think by then his sperm's gonna be old and gray though. He better be ready for that news.
I know. I think she's trying to say like, I think you're gonna be in a spot that you think you'll be in 2 years in 1 year. So like, let's not be that rigid. Yeah. Let's just discuss in a year.
I get where Amanda's coming from. Wait till the wedding. And then I think they should be like, look, plus I think also they should wait for the house. It should be wedding house. Not to say like, let's conventionally, but they're living in an apartment in New York. That's not great for kids. I think. I don't know.
And they work out of that apartment even pre-COVID.
They don't have an office because they just started this. Loverboy has, I think, 4 employees right now. Like maybe we'll hire a few more.
Yeah.
Figure it out. But you know what, Kyle? As far as I know, you're never going to be financially ready. I was an accident and my parents turned out okay at 25 or something.
I was an accident too.
My parents like to say I was a secret blessing, but they were 25, okay?
Tells me I was an accident. He was like, we did not want 2 that close together.
So Hannah goes to talk to Paige out on the balcony. And Hannah's like, Paige, oh my God, you know that psychic that we talk to sometimes on Instagram? She just told me that Lindsay and Luke fucked. She says a bunch of other shit. But
yeah, it's like a huge long message that she reads off. Yeah. But the moral of the story is that they've already had sex.
They've done it before and they kept it quiet. Luke and Lindsay aren't good people. And Paige is like, I am not even fucking surprised. I think it happened.
She's like, I'm not psychic, and I already felt like that was true. Like,
also, look at them. Their kids would be gorgeous.
Very true. Very true.
And Hannah,
this is interesting.
Remember Hannah at the beginning of the season was pissed because Lindsay invited Luke to that party in the winter and tried to get Danielle with Luke. So Hannah already didn't trust Lindsay. And this would mean that Lindsay cheated on Steven. And Paige is me. Paige is like, I need to know. I need to know.
I agree. I need to know this. But what do you think of this?
I think if it is true, it wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not going to take this psychic's word for it yet.
Yeah. It's not like her word isn't gold, but
no.
It put something on the table that I think a lot of people are like, yeah, I could see that. Wouldn't shock me if this was true.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like it is.
I'm indifferent. I think it would be really I need the answers before I get mad, because then I'll be like, oh my God, Lindsay and Luke both screwed over Hannah and Steven and the whole house. And
I'm a person who I feel like after watching so much reality TV, you start to realize like if this holds zero weight, producers would not have thought that this was that.
That's true. That's very true. It's very possible.
I'm always like, they always give you the things that are the most interesting and set up storylines. Granted, this could set up the storyline of them sleeping together later this summer.
People already think we did it. We might as well.
I don't know. This is going to cause good drama because we know this is going to come out. I think this is why Lindsay screams at them from the balcony and she's like, you don't know who I am.
Oh my God. You're Lindsay Hubbard. Now sit down.
Yeah. I think it comes out and I think Lindsay gets so mad because then it means that she cheated on Steven.
Yeah.
So that whole piece, I feel like it's going to take the brunt of this, is that I didn't cheat on him, even if it is true.
I'm excited.
This reminds me of Vanderpump Rules season 3 or season 2.
Yeah, literally. But I can't trust this psychic, right? I need other backup to it. And also, listen, Vanderpump season 2, it was 2 shitty ass people that did it. So I was like 1,000% probably. This, Luke and Lindsay aren't the shittiest of people.
No.
Which is where I'm like, if this is the thing, fuck them. Like, this is going to make them shitty. This is going to
change a lot. Shitty. This is going to change a lot if this is true.
So now it's Friday night. Lindsay's making tacos, and the rest of the girls can help if they want. So they do. It's time to drink.
Paige is like, oh my God, Steven would be so proud. And then she realizes like what she said. And Lindsay's like, I heard that. Yeah.
Everyone just laughs. It's funny.
I love that.
So apparently Lindsay's great at making tacos / sandwiches.
Yeah. I love that we're like joking about this. This just tells me that like Lindsay didn't really give a shit about him. She just wanted the timeline. She wanted to be married, not married to Steven.
Yeah. She just wants the ring. Hannah and Paige keep talking to Luke and Lindsay. So like Luke will come up and get a taco and Paige would be like, Luke, you like tacos? Just to like, I think it's so stuck in their mind that they're like, we just need to figure out a way to break them. So if we keep talking to them, maybe we'll see an opening. And Hannah's like, hey, Lindsay, I love your shirt. Taco. Like,
I think they're trying to like force things to happen to like, in theory, get more like evidence of like Luke and Lindsay. Like, because like, I think they're like, oh, Lindsay, nice top. And like, they're expecting Luke to be like, Luke, yeah, I love that top.
I think at one point Paige was like, doesn't Lindsay look nice? And Luke was like, yeah, she looks fine. Like, he was like, yeah. But I think if you keep them talking, eventually it would be like, so did you guys hook up? Like, one of them's just gonna blurt it. Like,
I think they think they're just gonna like find like awkward glances, or like they're gonna catch each other. Like, they're gonna slowly break down the like. They're gonna figure out the little things. Not like it's gonna immediately be said, but they're gonna get more proof of like something happened, and they're keeping a secret.
This is straight up me. It is diary of the mouth. I need to keep talking to these 2 people until I see something I need to back up my point.
Listen, I've actually been in this scenario where I've hooked up with one of my friends and nobody in our friend group knew. Most people don't know because you don't even think something's happening.
Was it stressful?
It's very easy to keep it a secret.
Oh, then you were fine.
Yeah.
You weren't stressed.
But like I wouldn't even if one of my friends knew and they tried to egg it out of me, I feel like I would catch on pretty quickly and know that it's like no, we're not discussing. Like, nothing happened. Like, you can be on the defense or like be on, I don't even know, offense or defense, but you can get ahead of it.
Well, we will see, won't we?
See, I think Luke and Lindsay are going to catch on that, like, they think something's off. So if it did happen, they're going to be much better about lying about it because they're going to get their stories straight together.
Yeah, I don't know. I just need to be in the summer house to experience this. I need it. But okay, so we're going to have a boys' night. Carl wants to have boys' night, and Hannah planned a girls' night or a spa date for the girls. And Lindsay goes into Luke's room and asks if he's okay. And Luke's just like, what does he say? He's annoyed with Sierra. The attitude that she's giving him, he doesn't like. And Lindsay's like, there's a lot of people that love you. This particular thing does not help me think it did not happen.
I agree. Like, I was like, the way she says it too, and like the look. This is what I'm talking about. Like, these types of things, they're not going to do them in front of other people, though.
Yeah.
They're smarter.
Also, Paige and Hannah tell Amanda, and Amanda's like, I knew it. I bet it was
She's
true.
Like, yeah, okay. Also, again, with the producers, like editing and things like that, they're not going to show you a conversation of Luke and Lindsay making a plan on how to
hiding it. Yeah.
Yes. They're going to show you that as a flashback later in the season once it comes out. So like, everything we're seeing now is just little tidbits, I think, to draw us to believe something. Like,
Amanda believes it so much. She's like, yeah, I bet they did. Like, Amanda's about to start this rumor. She's about to be like, who should I tell?
This is going to become a major rumor because of Amanda.
Amanda's going to go tell Kyle.
Kyle, who's going to tell Carl.
Carl, who's probably going to tell Danielle. And then, okay. Yep. But next time, we have boys' night and spa night. We need to get to the bottom of Luke and Lindsay. And in the event of becoming or finding out the truth, Lindsay becomes activated. Des and Hannah have FaceTime sex.
With Paige in the bed.
Oh my God, the weirdness. Carl is kind of into Sierra, and Kyle fights with Lindsay, and it's absolutely insane. And I was like, does Amanda fight Luke? There's fights.
Well, Amanda's like pulling Kyle short. Luke's screaming. Carl, this is the big fight, I think.
Is it? Next episode we get the big fight? I think
it's next episode. I think Lindsay starts it with the screaming out the balcony because she was in her robe.
Yeah.
So it happens on girls' night, but I think that the guys' fight happens, I think, the next day or something. Like, producers get involved. Like,
the security shows fight. Up. Yeah, this is gonna be nuts. All right. Who do we love the most? What's it called?
Accepted and Blocked.
What's it called? I don't have my notes.
Alicia, I remember when I did my first podcast.
It was over a year ago. We're such fucking experts.
We're experts. Well, who do you want to do first? Like, accepted or blocked?
Honestly, either, because I have neither.
Let's do blocked first because I know who I want to block.
Okay, block someone.
I'm blocking Lindsay.
Activated.
Listen, she's part of the group that, this is a dumb thing I'm going to start off with, but she's part of the group that said, like, she doesn't like how people just sit around and don't really work and don't clean. But, like, she was, like, laying in her bed most of the time while people were working and then just did her, like, teletherapy. So it doesn't really seem like she's doing much work is all I'm going to say. So I don't really like that argument stance she took a long time ago. But what I truly want to block her for is the being so unbothered with this breakup with Steven. She like makes it such a big deal that he's not doing a goddamn thing. But what was she doing in the relationship to help him at all? And then the breakup is like 0.5 seconds and she does not give a shit about it. Like not one tear was shed and you guys were together for a year and you wanted to marry him.
Yeah, no, you're right. She can't marry this man. She did not love him at all.
What?
No.
Like, you just want to be married. You don't want to marry Steven. And I don't like that. That bothers me so much because she's such an independent, strong woman in like her career and like other places in her life. But like, she can't just own that in every facet of her life. It feels like she needs someone. She can't be alone because of the things with her mom, which tells me she has not like truly spent that time in therapy to work that out.
Yeah, no, not at all. You're right. I though am going to block Luke. Listen, he's just kind of a fucking mess this season. Like, I didn't mind him last season. I thought he was like a fun flirty guy to flirt with in the house. And now he's like that creepy uncle that like shows up and you're like, why the fuck are you
here? He was like the fun fuck boy last season, and now it's just fun. Like he's kind of desperate a little bit. And like,
he's
the way he was talking to Hannah about Des.
Yeah. He's trying to get into Hannah's relationship. He now may have fucked Lindsay, which would totally just, I just don't like him. I don't like him being here. That's it.
Yeah, I don't either. It doesn't even, like, he's not really adding much like fun stuff to the group.
Literally, sorry. Luke annoys me so much I'm yawning. Luke bores me. I just don't. There's nothing I want from him. That's it.
I agree.
Okay, who am I accepting? I don't know.
I'm gonna accept Paige.
I do know. I was gonna say Paige. I love it.
Love her so much. The toilet paper, like, she's just funny this episode. So the little toilet paper mask, her talking about the sets she made whenever they're like listening in on the fight. Like, it's all the little things for me that I just love. And I love her and Hannah, like, with the gossip. They're like, I love a good gossip session between two friends.
I love it. Also, she's just cute. She was a good friend to Hannah when she was kind of like, hey, how, she has Hannah's back, but also won't let Hannah,
steamroll her into,
Yeah, she's like, listen, you brought up your dad, so Kyle really didn't. But Kyle really does love you, and maybe you need to like reflect on, like, she very much sets everyone up for success. She then goes to hug Kyle. She's like, everyone's back. I really like Paige. I'm feeling Paige.
It seems like she's the one who's going to listen to everybody, because everybody gets to vent and like give their emotions out. She's going to listen to you, but she's going to give you advice on like a real solid advice of like, okay, well, like, he does care about you, She's not going to just sit there and bash people with you. She'll listen to you bash people, I bet, but she's then going to like turn around and be like, well, here's what I think.
Well, now we move on to our favorite part, where we read what Jackie commented and all of her thoughts.
Yes.
Also, you will have to eventually go on the Patreon and respond to Jackie, because she asked you for the margarita recipe, because they just got a Margaritaville machine at their cabin.
What margarita recipe?
I don't know. Go listen to old episodes. I think last episode you were saying that, how your mom owns that margarita thing, and you mix it up and make a marg.
I guess I'll have to. Yeah, I'll go comment.
Go back, listen.
My love for margaritas.
Okay, so first, Jackie doesn't know about us, but she hates when guys play guitars. If she's at a party and a dude busts out his guitar, she's out. She might be the only chicken on earth where this is a turn off, but no, thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it's like a turn off, but it's not a turn on. Like,
no. Also, Luke just playing this guitar each and every night by himself.
It would annoy me living in that house.
Oh my God, I'd murder him.
That is a turn off. But like a guy just knowing how to play guitar, if he's like coming out at a random point with it, that's not really interesting.
Yeah, Jackie, if I'm at a party and he busts out his guitar, my ass is going to roll my eyes and laugh at him. It's just not a thing for me.
I listen, I need to request you to play a song. I don't need to just do it.
Know the time and place for guitar.
Yeah. You need to be asked to play it. Don't just show up with it.
Then Jackie says Luke is getting iced out by almost all the girls, and she's starting to feel bad for him. There's a place between hate and bang, and maybe they can be nice to him and be friends. Must be awkward for him living there, if not a bit lonely. I agree. You know what? I don't think Luke has any friends in the house, and I do feel bad for that. And it would probably be lonely. Like, I almost hope that they do make up, but I do think Luke's kind of the creepy uncle right now.
Here's the thing. My feelings about it, though, is I feel like he did it to himself. I feel like I kind of have a friend like this right now, where it's like, you've separated yourself from this group. What can I do for you when you're the one who put yourself into this situation? Like,
yeah, I think it's more of like he's living there. Like, this is his only place he can go. So it's extra sad and probably mentally straining on him.
But then think about like the comments he's making to Hannah about Des. Like, you're just pushing these people further away.
Yeah. I
like
hope
they do need to be nicer
nice
to him, I think, and include him better. But like he also like needs to change some things on his side too.
Yes. So Jackie's glad that Lindsay broke up with Steven. She was forcing something that was not there. Bye. Agreed. Hannah apologizing to the house and Kyle. Blah. Throw up emoji. But I think it was necessary to move on.
I agree. Lindsay did say she thought it was fake. I think it was a little fake
because we have to live here.
You need to do it just to move it
for the next weekend. But the fact that we're living here, please God, I cannot relive this issue again and again and again.
Yes, I agree. I think Hannah had to swallow her pride and suck it up and do it just to move on because Kyle needed that. He literally even said he needed that. So I think she evaluated like how to move past this, and she was like, "This is what I'm going to have to do."
Her fave. She's amazing, and Jackie would totally be friends with her. Jackie, I'm going to try and find her in New York and be friends with her, and then you and Meredith can come and also meet her. But I'll take one for the team and be that weirdo that seeks her out. I'll do it. I love her. I'll do it. And then the last thing she says, which is so nice. If you guys ever want us to send you any lover boy, just let us know and we'd love to. Jackie, we might take you up on this for the iced tea. We can get the seltzer sent to us, but it's $69. And I just don't know if I'm willing to contribute that much right now. Like, I think for 12. I'll check.
How many?
But like, even if for 24, like 69 is a lot.
No, it is not worth it. I wonder if there's a really flat, or like if there's a flat but expensive shipping fee. So if you buy more, it kind of brings the price per can down because you spread that shipping across. But here's the thing: is you should mail it to you, Alicia. When I come up to Chicago next,
it doesn't say how many. 12-pack, 4 cans of each flavor, $69.
That's
my gosh. Are you scared? Let's see. 69 divided by 12.
69 divided by 12.
$5.75. Oh my God, that's a drink at a bar in Chicago.
Oh my God, that's a drink at a bar in St. Louis.
Jeez. Still, this is a lot for
a happy hour drink. Or remember that bar we used to go to?
No, it's like the normal,
and they're not
thing.
like the,
and that's why if I'm
boy, like a big can.
Much, Jiggy, I'm getting that tea, but I can't get the tea sent to me yet. So you know what? Once I go to New York, I'm gonna buy it at Target, probably because I'm hoping that will save me some money. I can't imagine. It's at Target, but not at our Target.
They probably don't have it at Target, but shut up.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, Alicia, what you gotta do is when you come home for Christmas, you're just gonna bring it. And
I'm very excited. But Jackie, I appreciate the offer. Right now, do not spend that kind of money.
Is that all Jackie
does? Unless you can find it fucking cheaper. Listen, Kyle, I appreciate it, but $69 is a lot of money. A little cheaper.
We're going to need to wait until it's a little bit more normal to get it. We're going to need it in the stores somewhere in the Midwest.
All right. That's it. I know I usually say, I guess no one really hates Hannah. I do not love you as much as Des loves Hannah.